Good morning. What is up, stylists from the back room? I don't think anybody's awake today, but we are. I hope everybody had a fun, happy, safe 4th yesterday. Hope everybody got to see some fireworks and got to enjoy and goof off. But we are going at it this morning like nothing ever happened. Morning, John.
Eddie, how are you today, my friend?
I am excited, man. I had a great time yesterday, and I'm awake this morning, ready for quiz. I'm ready to. I don't even know what we're discussing. I am not prepared today at all. I'll tell you that right now. But I'm very excited to discuss whatever it is we're supposed to. Okay. I know we're supposed to talk about some product reviews, and I know you got some motivation for the week. So This week in particular, I have no idea much of anything of what's going on, but I'm excited to do it.
That is no different from any day. If anybody who knows you, number one. Number two, I need you to hold both your hands up to make sure you didn't blow any fingers off with fireworks.
Oh, wait, this way. I'm supposed to do it this way or this way? Or
I don't know.
How am I supposed to not show my finger?
As long as you've kept the important fingers to put extensions in the foil.
I just the bird mistakenly. Didn't mean to do that.
Well, I hope everybody had a great week. We're up and running. All of our friends, and we've got a lot of fun stuff for you today. And I want to start off with our quiz.
Let's do this.
Eddie's quiz for the week. You ready? Is that a yes or a no?
It's one of those.
What kind of head nod is this? I thought you were having a seizure. All right. So we're gonna start easy and we're gonna get hard on you. Okay. So, how many levels of lift can you achieve with 40 volume peroxide?
In hair color, up to 4. In lightener, elevators skip the 13th floor, right?
Yes.
So you can't get 13 levels of lift with lightener. But then how do you fall out? Like you're still on the 13th floor, though.
Right.
Like you're on the 13th level, right? But but they call it 14?
I don't understand the thought process behind that.
It's a superstition.
Yes.
When they were building buildings, that was supposed to be the unlucky. It's so weird. How many cultures number 13 is lucky number, and then how many cultures 13 is unlucky number?
Right.
It's interesting.
Superstition.
It's a superstition. Well, it's weird because I was raised with 13 as a lucky number. And it just coincidentally happens to be my favorite number. So every time we go in the elevator, I'm always looking for it, and it's never there, and I get confused.
See, as superstitions, depending on the culture you were brought up in, really, really are very prevalent. But once again, like you said, it's culturally specific. Like my mother, she spilt salt right over the shoulder, and she didn't care who was standing behind her.
And we were all short enough back then. We all got it in the eye.
And she was really superstitious about if I gave her a hard time, she was going to beat me. So, All right. Well, you got that right. It's up to 4 levels of lift with 40 volume, according to Milady's standard textbook of cosmetology. So you knew that. That's good. And we could really go really long and deep into this with lightning, but that's part of our one of our classes, and it's also for another day. So
somebody's going to question me about my 13 levels of lift with lightener, though.
Right. Leave it on long enough, it'll lift, or either that or it's just going to end up in the shampoo bowl. So
pocket foils, yeah. Who knows what a pocket foil? There's a pop quiz for you. Who knows what a pocket foil is?
Why are you stealing all my questions? That's for later on. And it's a pocket curl for those of us who grew up doing perms.
That's the equivalency in the perm. That's right.
And I told you that story. I told you that story last week.
On one of the other lives.
Yep. Okay, so here's a good one for you. Which country has the highest population of redheads? Natural redheads.
Ireland.
Are you sure? Is that your final answer?
Scotland. Ireland.
All right, I'm gonna give you 4 countries to choose from. Okay, you ready?
Okay.
Number 1, Ireland. Number 2, Australia. Number 3, the US. Number 4, Mexico.
I never thought about that. Australians do have natural redheads, huh? That's pretty cool. But no, Ireland.
You are incorrect, sir. It is
Australia has the most redheads?
It's the US.
What?
6 to 18 million natural redheads exist in the US. 20% more than Ireland.
That's not fair because America has a larger population in comparison to Ireland.
Well, exactly. But the question was,
redheads come from Ireland. The soulless come from Ireland.
Really? You're going to take that up with my wife tomorrow, aren't you?
Bring it on. When Aaron comes over tomorrow, yes, we are gonna have an in-depth discussion about this. Okay, soulless, godless country. Okay, is why they drink to fill the void. You will not take away the prestige of the Irish.
Well, she is Irish too, so. But
I stand for it. No, I will not stand for your shenanigans. I stand by the Irish.
Okay.
America has the most natural born redhead. That's not fair. That's a statistical numbers hack.
Once again, the question was, what country has the highest population of redheads?
That you should adjust your question to make it more accurate. That is fake news.
You're wrong. You're wrong. It's really good news. I need smaller hands. It's really good news. This is how it's going today. I can see this. You all right? You dying?
I have big hands.
All right. Which texture of hair is most prone to breakage?
Pulling.
What? Texture. Hair texture. Not what goes on when you're being disciplined.
Texture of hair. Oh. Natural body, wavy, curly. Which one is the most prone? Oh, natural body.
Okay, here's your 4 choices: curly hair, coarse hair, fine hair, or thick hair.
What?
Which hair is most prone to breakage? Curly hair, coarse hair, fine hair, or thick hair?
How is curly hair? I misunderstood the question altogether, man.
Okay.
That is weird. All right, so fine hair then, if that's the multiple choice.
You are correct. Fine hair is most.
I completely misunderstood the question altogether.
No, that's okay. It was still funny as heck. So yeah, fine hair is most prone to breakage, and especially fine hair with either a chemical service or fine hair with that has a lot of heat service on it. Is most prone. It's not as durable.
Well, you've got me contemplating now. So natural body or pretty much straight-ish hair compared to wavy or curly. Between those 3, what wouldn't natural body be the weakest of those 3?
It usually is, right? Because usually curly hair or you know, and we're talking about in generalization. Yes, I know you guys out there watching are gonna go, well, but yeah, but I have this client. Yeah, there are exceptions.
Porosity all being the same. We're not taking into factor porosity.
Right.
We're just taking it as it is.
Right.
If it's just porosity being equal all the way across the board.
Right.
Wavy and curly hair, because it's coiled, you know, it's actually got more tensile strength built into it.
I believe so too.
Yeah,
I believe so too. So that's
an
good.
interesting question. Okay.
Yeah. Okay,
texture.
you ready?
I mean, you said texture, and I immediately thought wavy, curly, or natural body.
Right.
You know, like straight, wavy, curly body. You know, I didn't think about. See, I went fine, or medium or coarse. I think of that as density. I don't think of that as texture. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Now this is a fun one. Okay. And wait, what year were you born?
79.
Okay. What haircut did Olympic skater Dorothy Hamill have her hairdresser give her that became all the rage for women in the 70s?
I know who Dorothy Hamill is. I didn't watch figure skating, so I have no idea. Was it a page cut?
No.
I'm just trying to think of the 70s cuts.
Yeah, I'm going to give you 4 choices, okay?
Whoa, didn't they name the haircut after her?
No. Well, it was. It was kind of like back in the. Remember when Friends was on and we were doing the Rachel.
Yeah, I remember that.
This is the true technical term.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
So mullet, shag, wedge, or bob.
Oh, the wedge.
The wedge, correct. You are correct. The wedge was huge, and the reason why she went to her hairdresser is her hair kept falling in her face when she was practicing, you know, for the Olympics, and she could, you know, kind of got to see. So she wanted something easy care, and something that that she would you know would be not hanging in her eyes. So that's when she started the wedge cut, and then everybody had the wedge cut. I remember when my sister had the wedge cut. We gave her the hardest time ever. So
it's a strong cut. That is a very technical strong cut. Like I said, I could picture it. I know exactly what you're talking about. I didn't. Yeah. Okay. So it's the wedge. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
The wedge. Anybody who's been doing hair for, you know, since then, we all know the wedge, you know, or the graduated bob, or, you know, or a version thereof.
I just always, like I said, I always knew it as the Hamill, as the Dorothy Hamill.
Dorothy Hamill haircut. Yep, exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a fun one because this is kind of what men's haircut from the 80s is making a comeback coupled with a perm for young men.
Dude, the mullet, man. The mullet with the perm right now.
You are correct.
The high school boys are really, really pushing this strong. These dudes are rocking this thing out, man.
It started as the fade with a perm up top, and now they're growing the back out, and they're you know, the Patrick Mahomes haircut. They all look like a bunch of heads of broccoli, as far as I'm concerned.
Who's Patrick? Is
he's the quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
I don't really watch basketball, so I wasn't familiar.
You're an idiot.
You know how many times I've done that to people, and they all wait, what? I know it's football, people. Okay, come on, I'm just goofing off. It's too early.
But yeah, it's huge. It's huge. You know, just what's today? You know, with holidays in the middle of the week, my days get all messed up, and I know you have no idea what day it is. But when was that? That was Wednesday.
Well, no, today's Friday. We're doing our live. We always do our live on Fridays. You could, had you not called me this morning, though. Oh, baby, I don't know. You might have been by yourself today.
That would be the end of the live if I'm by myself. But yeah, there were two. I walked by and there were two young men. They had freaking yellow rods, or not yellow, white rods in their hair, and it took me right back to when I just came out of beauty school, man. With everybody getting perms, it's coming back. It's and I think that's cool. I think it's cool. I think it's cool that young people are actually doing stuff with their hair and not just doing it for attention. They're doing it to look cool, and a lot of these young guys, they look pretty cool with that hair. I kind of dig it. I rocked a mullet in the 80s back when I had a hairline.
Yeah, I had a mullet. Yeah.
So with that being said, I have I got a question for you. It's aside from the quiz time is over.
Okay.
As hairdressers, as people in our industry, okay, why do we name everything after haircuts and stuff after food, drinks, or animals?
You know what?
Why?
This is something I constantly ask myself all the time. I'm always asking about that. It's so okay. That's a fun one to bring up. Let me
because let's put it this way, okay? I mean, I'm waiting for the golden retriever haircut. Okay,
it's coming. We can start it. It's coming.
Usually, I'm always hungry and/or thirsty, and I want an iced mocha color. I want an iced mocha. Okay.
I want to. Oh, we should create the lasagna.
Why are you doing this thing, man?
We should come up with a spaghetti and meatballs color. How about that? That would be fun. Yeah, no, it's always it's a strawberry shortcake. It's always
the butterfly.
Some animal. Yeah. Where's the cheetah? Well, the cheetah color was a thing.
It was. And I know you live with someone with a closet full of cheetah patterns.
I have the animal preserve is in the closet. It's insane. It's insane. I tell her all the time, like, you got Africa's in the closet. We never have to go on a safari. There's no animals to look at over there. They're all in the freaking closet.
But I mean, I know why we, in all seriousness though, I know why we do it, because it's things that you can relate to, but I mean,
you know why? Is because it's things you could relate to and you like it. There was a comedian, Dennis Leary, and he did a skit on animals. And he says, it's only the cute animals that we care about. We don't care about the uglies. And in part of his skit, he's like, what are you? Like he said, we should just get them all lined up and interview them all and figure this out once and for all and put it to bed. He's like, what are you? I'm an otter. What do you do? I swim on my back and I do this cute little thing with my hands. He's like, all right, you're free to go. He goes, what are you? I'm a cow. You're a baseball glove. Get in the truck. It's like, what the? Oh my God. Because nobody wants to look like a cow.
Well, and what I want to know is when are we going to do prime rib color?
Oh my gosh, I'd be all for that, dude. How the nice marbling on a sirloin? We could create that. We could create that because ombre. Okay, here's a homework assignment for the chat. Okay, you've got ombre, you've got balayage, you've got dimensional block coloring techniques, right? Combining those three techniques, create the sirloin, the marble. What should we call this thing? Come up with the name right now, bro.
Well, I see. I'm
the prime rib.
I'm thinking prime rib. Okay,
prime rib. I am all for it. You need red. I will accept red copper. You need some blonde. You need platinum, but I'll accept blonde because blonde and red going together is kind of rough.
And you need like a golden brown for the caramelization on the outside of the meat.
I'm oh my mwah. I am all for it. I want this. And I'll do you one even better. This is how good I want this. Somebody can post a picture of this. Send us an email to HTB Beauty. Okay? Go to htbbeauty.com. Send us an email. Or even send it to me directly too. I don't care. Eddie at htbbeauty.com. I will send you one of our color kits. I don't know. I'll send you some. I don't know what I'll send you. I'll send you something. We'll figure it out. Oh my gosh. I will work with you. We will figure something out. Okay. That's how excited I am. Send me a color.
Actually, you send us I'll do her one better. I'll do you one better. We'll send you something, and then also we will do a video of it. We'll create it and do a video.
We will get you on here and interview you, man. We will promote you. Okay.
We'll bring you on.
We'll create a class out of it, even if you want to, man. I don't know. I'm getting all like this just didn't turn into a discussion no more. This turned into a whole think tank brainstorm session over here. Oh man. Okay, prime rib. That's called Aaron. Let him know. We got the next.
Let him know.
We got the next
prime rib color. But really, I mean, I think we give these things names because it's easily identifiable to things that kind of make us happy. You know?
It is. It's everybody. I argue this a lot with you, and I argue this a lot with our little circle. Why are we always comparing something to something else? Why can't we just create something and let it stand on its own laurels? But that's the thing. You need to wrap your mind around what you're trying to digest when you're looking at something, or when you're listening to something, when you're reading something.
Right.
And your brain needs to create some level of an expectation. That's really what it comes down to. Just so you can have a baseline of what you're supposed to do, right? Now, the movie I recommended to you earlier, then what did I tell you? I just said it's just fun, nonstop fun from start to finish. Like right. I didn't want to give anything away. I didn't want to preface it by saying anything, but I got to sell you on the idea of you watching this thing, right? So it's got to be on something. It's the same thing, especially with hair color, with trends in general. It's the same thing. You want to name it something, to coin it something, so then this way easily people can think about and reference back to. So it makes sense.
Right. I mean, it's just like
some of the names are goofy though, but overall I understand the concept of it. It does make sense.
It's like Cowboy Copper. When you think of that, when you say Cowboy Copper, we all have the same visualization, probably different intensities, but same visualization of what that color should look like, right?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, copper in general, I think, is the most confusing color of all time. Copper and caramel, I think, are the two most confused, argued tones of color of all time.
Well, I'll throw a third one in there. Blonde. Blonde is a subjective term, man.
Blonde is subjective, but blonde is pretty much its level, 8, 9, and 10. What level or what intensity of blonde you want is different, but it's clear cut and dry. Yeah. What?
Oh, what? Ash blonde, golden blonde.
That's the total.
Strawberry blonde.
It's still either 8, 9, or 10. It's either level 8, 9, or 10. That's it. Like, you got to get into that zone of the blondes.
But really, if it's someone as dark as you and I are naturally, you could bring them up to a 5, and they're going to say, "Look at the blonde streaks in my hair."
That's just a misuse of the term. That's not identifiable as no. You're mixing up. All right, that's a whole other discussion into itself. But you're mixing up two different tones there.
Time out. How many times have you had a client sit in your chair and go, "I want to be blonder"?
Because again, they're misusing the term. They want to be lighter, but they're just referring to it as blonder because that's what they're identifying as lightness.
But that's why they put names to this, because then if she sat in your chair and went, I want to be cowboy copper blonde. Now you know what you're looking for, right?
No, I have no idea what that is. What is that? There's no such thing. What even is that?
You could tone it to a copper blonde.
Isn't that just strawberry blonde?
Is it?
I'm asking, sucker. I'm not telling.
Well, but then okay, cowboy copper blonde. But then there's rose gold blonde.
Yeah, that's rose gold. That's not copper.
Still red.
What?
Thank you for proving my point.
It's significantly more gold in there than it is copper in there, guy. You're like, where are you? Where even are you? Do we need a swatch book? Somebody post a swatch book. We need to really. Rose gold could be interpreted as a cowboy copper tone.
How many? What if you Googled rose gold right now? How many shades would come up?
4.
I think you get a whole lot more than that.
I think the parameters in what you're trying to describe are under different parameters than what I'm talking about.
Okay, if you say so.
Are you going to start Googling right now?
No. Because unlike you, I don't have NORAD in a room with 16 screens, and you're probably running a movie and playing a video game at the same time.
Right? I really need more monitors. I could fit easily 2, maybe 3 more monitors in here,
guys, you got to picture his little computer cave. Really, it's like a scene from the movie War Games with all the screens.
No, I don't. I wish I had that many, man.
Yeah, you will really eventually. I know you.
I've been looking into it. It'd be very expensive, but I'm looking into it.
While we're on the subject of blondes, and I want to share this story with you. I have a client. She's a double process.
Okay.
I tone her with a 10 pearl. It's absolutely gorgeous, but she lives. Well, they have a house in the Cayman Islands, and they go.
Nice.
She goes there 2 weeks at a crack, out in the sun, in the surf, all that, and she comes back. The toner's gone, and she starts. She's getting a little big birdish.
Okay.
So I gave her the Carotherapy toning spray. Am I using? Is that the right term for it? Yeah, the blonding spray. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah. No, I knew what you. I
understand. I gave her the blonding spray, and I told her, put it in a Ziploc bag, take it, and leave it in your house in the Caymans, because it's an island. They have a heck of a time getting products, things like that. And she just came back to me on Wednesday. They were back in town, and dude, her toner, it held. It kept her hair as blonde as the minute she walked out of the salon. She had a little more added porosity from the salt water and all that, but other than that, her hair was absolutely amazing. And I wish I could take all the credit for this. I did to her. I said, yeah, I told you this, but wow. As stylists, all these products that we have at our fingertips that can help keep our work looking awesome. Why would anybody choose not to use these products? I'm confused. To turn your clients on to something that they really need, especially all the blood, sweat, and tears that we put into blonding hair.
It's a matter of convenience. I don't think a lot of people focus on the long game. I think everybody's too concerned and worry about what's in front of them at the moment, and they're just trying to get through their day. I like where the shift in the industry is going towards, though. There is a shift in the industry where the long-term maintenance is becoming more of an acceptable thing. Oh, universally across the board. It obviously exists in hair extensions. It exists in keratin smoothing treatments, but it doesn't so much exist in styling, hair cutting, and in hair color. But now it's starting to become, more prevalent.
Right.
And what is awesome about that is because, yeah, the retail market makes a huge difference. It matters. Recommending the right products to help maintain the current style of what's going on. I think what it's gotten to the point where we've hit critical mass. There is so many different types of products out there that now there's the saturation. It's oversaturated with the amount of products and options that are out there, where clients now, before they were trying to figure it out themselves, or they would listen to the stylist, and then it kind of shifted where stylists weren't recommending often enough and clients were just kind of sorting it out themselves, right? But it's come back around full circle. There is so many different things out there. Trying to figure out which is the right product for your type of hair has really become a thing, has really become a very most important thing. A lot of stylists are calling and asking for help with referrals or recommendations on certain products. The one thing fits all mentality is finally starting to simmer down and go away, which makes me so happy.
Right.
This all-in-one, 2-in-1, this one-stop shop does it all products. You need targeted things for targeted problems. You need specific things for specific issues, okay? That blonding spray, for example, it's a semi-permanent color. What a semi-permanent color means is it lasts from wash to wash. So if you spray it into your hair, it is going to ever so lightly deposit a little bit of toner into your hair. Now, if you're blonde, especially if you're blonde, the number one problem in blondes is that they turn brassy, and they don't like that. What that really means is there is a primary of the three primary colors. Yellow is the smallest molecule. It's the most prevalent color. It's the most annoying thing because it's so small. There's a lot of it and it gets into your hair and it is constantly re-exposed from any kind of heat, sun, especially if you're in the Caymans, right? If you're in that area, when your hair starts slightly lightening up, it's going to start exposing that primary color. And that's what everybody interprets as brassiness. So being able to control it with a violet, a blue, a green, some kind of ash, really the best thing to use is a violet. But, I understand there's blue and green out there as well, too, that people like to use. The point is, when you're using these specific types of products, you're counterbalancing the effect of the other thing. It's just paint by numbers at this point. And you're balancing it out. That's why these things work as well as they do. And it's awesome. There are violet shampoos. There's violet conditioners. There's violet leave-in sprays. There are an array of products out there that have some kind of pigmentation to them that counterbalance and offset the effects of the issues that happen. I know we're talking about violet, but they're like, for example, you could get red shampoos and conditioners and leave-ins, and it'll help refresh that. If you're worried, like a lot of people with dark hair, they're like, oh, I'm starting to see red. Okay, well, your darkness, something is happening. You need to refresh that. There's even dark pigmented things as well. Blondes is the most prevalent one. Blonde is the most popular one because when things start going wrong in blonde hair, that shows itself the worst.
Oh, sure.
Or the most, or whatever the right way is to say that,
Right.
But that's how that thing is working. And it is reliant on frequency of use. A semi-permanent can only last shampoo to shampoo. But like how I love the little thing that you talk about with compression, with heat involved, even though it's only topical, even though it's only, last shampoo to shampoo, if you overuse it or if you misuse it, that frequency of use, yes, it is important, but it could become detrimental.
Right. I agree. I agree. And I think the thing to really remember about when we're talking about all of these products, the blue shampoos, the and the blue violet conditioners, all of those things, when we lighten the hair, what's the first color? What's the first pigment to leave? Is blue, right? From red, yellow, blue, and then you're left with different stages of yellow and red. And the thing to remember is when we tone, we're putting pigment in there. So when you use these products, you're actually putting another layer of pigment on top of that toner. So when you shampoo, when you're out in the elements, whatever, that layer is going to go first before that toner layer. So you're actually kind of filling the hair too, right? Would you say that?
You're protecting the hair. Yeah, you're protecting
the hair. And I think that we as professionals, stylists, whatever you want, whatever moniker you put on yourself, I think part of making that recommendation or giving them that prescription to keep their hair in optimum color and condition is very important. And I think that, you have an ear infection, you go to the doctor, he gives you an antibiotic, right? And it tells you to take that antibiotic for X amount of time, 2 weeks, whatever, right? And if you've ever just taken it till you feel better and then stop, and then all of a sudden your infection comes back and you go back to the doctor and he looks at you like, it's the same thing. It's almost the same thing. We have to start prescribing, and to put that point to bed, when you go back to your doctor and you're like, hey, my ear infection came back, and the first thing question is, did you take all the medication? And when you say no, you're still paying for that freaking visit to the doctor, right? Either way, you're paying them. And it's the same thing. If they're not taking care of their hair the way we tell them to, as far as especially our blondes, because they got to take care of that blonde. There's certain parameters that you have to operate within. I just think it's so important that we as professionals give them a professional recommendation. And I think, and there's a lot of avenues you can take with that. And I know a lot of people right now are looking at me going, John, I'm an artist. I'm not a salesperson. And that's a subject for another day. That is a subject.
I don't think that has anything. You know what though? Look, what is the most common damage? What is the most common damage that occurs to hair color that'll start pre-lightening color before the client has time to come back in? Because there's always this argument, oh, my color faded. It's like, no, your color technically didn't fade. What you lost was vibrancy and intensity. For your color to fade to that degree, some extremity must have occurred. Okay, so let's talk about that. Like, what is the most extreme thing that can happen to hair that could start burning away hair color, that could start prematurely lightening hair color outside of the salon?
First things first is their heat tools.
Heat tools, yes. Oh, I'll give you a multiple choice.
Okay.
The moon, the sun, the heat tools, or the oven?
Yes. Look, at one point in my life, I kept trying to stick my head in the oven. It didn't work. No, it's the sun. Obviously, it's the sun, but it's also heat tools too, because as you and I are very famous for, is our mall kiosk flat iron story. But some of those heat tools that they use, I mean, and not being shown how to actually blow dry their hair correctly, where they're laying that nozzle right on top of the hair with their brush. That's pushing pigment out of the hair. But yeah, the sun is the number one because the sun, I mean, look at an old car that's been sitting in the sun. What does that dashboard look like?
And that's what it is. I don't think people realize how often they're out in light. And that's the thing. And it's like, oh, well, I only drive to work. I don't stay outside. Yeah, but you walked outside to get to your car. You drove. You got stuck at every red light possible. You was
What's a
in the
car?
sun.
What's a car?
What do you mean, what's a car? Huh?
I'm just making fun of your accent. You said you walk outside to your car.
Listen, guy. When you're driving around in your automobile, okay, you are in the sun. No, that's the whole thing. And if you really think about it, I mean, just the elements in general, the environment and the elements in general.
Right.
You got your ceiling fan going. I got my fan going too. That wind is creating a certain amount of friction into the air, just because it's just passing through. Now, it's not that much. Yeah, sure. But it's the microaggressions that continually happen, and it's how our body is continually bombarded. And it slowly, eventually starts to create a cumulative effect where it starts to break down the porosity of your hair. And as the porosity of your hair starts to break down, it starts absorbing more things.
Right.
And that doesn't always mean it's a good thing, or, it could also be a bad thing, like in this scenario, right? And that's the whole thing. So it's just a buildup over time of everything. And that's really the problem.
I get that. But just to circle back, put a pin in it. Just to circle back is that we have a lot of things at our disposal as stylists, as professionals, that we could be giving our clients or recommending for our clients to help maintain the work that we do. True or false?
No, this is true. This is absolutely true.
So now that we're on this subject, what is one of your favorite blue/violet shampoos and conditioners to recommend to your clients?
No, look, you were talking about it earlier. It really is a powerful collection. The Totally Blonde collection from Therapy is a very solid trio. Ooh. It's a shampoo, a conditioner, and a leave-in spray. Okay. If you're interested, you want to check it out, you want to find out more, go check it out. HTBbeauty.com. Go to the website, check it out. We distribute Therapy to the entire state of Illinois.
100%. You guys will not be sorry. I was put in my hand, and I am very lucky because of my affiliation with you and Darren, where I get things put into my hand that I probably would have never even looked sideways at, and blows my mind every time. I am
one of the things I appreciate about Therapy, though, when they're doing their product development, one of the phases is the testing. The testing is actually sent to us, like it's sent to the educators across the country, okay? And then we have to sit in these online virtual meetings and discuss. There's a lot of forms to fill out. Like, they're very serious about this. They don't mess around.
Right.
So it's fun. It's fun to be part of that process because they really do listen to our feedback and our complaints. Like, it's not enough, or it's too much, or it's this, or it's that. It's cool. It's really cool, especially when you see the product actually come to market. Yeah. You're like, man, I had a hand in that. That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
So it's
very cool.
It's interesting. It's really, really interesting. But the amount of care that they put into it and the amount of pigment that they've loaded into it, that they've actually upped it more than what it originally was during the product testing phase. And they were very concerned because all of us were saying, no, you got to put more in there, man. This is just not violet. There's not enough violet in it. And they were kind of nervous, and they were thinking it was going to get a little bit too much, like to the point where it would start staining the hair. Right. And it's like, no, it's still a semi-molecule. It's a semi-permanent molecule. It's going to be fine. It'll be fine. So
it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
We're having fun here. So yesterday, being the 4th of July, we really didn't have a lot going on here at the Casa. So, and because it looked like it was going to rain all day here in Illinois until later in the afternoon, I logged a bunch of TV time. I haven't done that in forever. And I went to some old standbys because deep down inside I am still 10 years old. And I watched a bunch of Godzilla movies, the old Godzilla movies, with the guy in the rubber suit smashing models. And all I needed was a bowl of Frosted Flakes and I would have been a happy boy. But anyway, and as I was sitting there, because my brain goes left and right and all over the place. All you have to do is roll something shiny across the floor and I'll chase it. Look, squirrel, and I was thinking about motivation for today. The motivational quote that we always do every week. And I went on kind of a Japanese tear. And I know you love Japanese culture. I know. Okay. So I came up with a quote. It's an old Japanese quote. I'm going to give it to you in Japanese first.
Whoa.
Okay. And I hope if anybody that's watching is Japanese and I slaughter this, I'm going to apologize. Okay. But you ready? It's Nana Karobi Ya Oki.
Nana Karobi
Ya Oki.
Ya Oki. Okay.
And it's an old Japanese proverb, and it means fall 7 times, get up 8.
I love it. That's cool.
Which, if we really want to take it to one step further, it means never give up. Where's John Cena? But
can't see him.
But it fall 7 times, get up 8. And I forgot about this quote. That quote was I heard it a long time ago, and it came to me. And it really, really speaks a lot to especially what we do every day. Not every client loves what we do, right? And the old adage of you're only as good as your last haircut or your last color or whatever. That doesn't apply here because you got to keep moving. You got to keep getting after it. And it's something that I'm going to find this somewhere. I'm going to get this printed out and put it in a plaque. I'll put it in a frame because that kind of epitomizes what we do behind the chair. Because okay, maybe your last client wasn't the best. I know you do perfect every time, but some of us are humans.
Yeah, I do perfect every time. And every single person is happy. I don't rub nobody wrong.
Ever.
Yeah,
Mr. 100 grit sandpaper. But the bottom line of this statement for me is you can't give up. If I would have gave up when I wanted to in this business back when I was in beauty school and I couldn't wrap a perm and I threw my head across, my practice head across the room, I'd probably, I don't know where I'd be. Probably a greeter at Walmart, which is my retirement job. You can't give up, and you can't give up on what we do. And the coolest part about what we do is it's changing constantly. So we always have the opportunity to keep moving forward. And that's what it means to me. And when you and I hatched our plan for whatever this is that we're doing, we didn't give up on it. We really didn't. We kept talking about it. And 6 months ago, we set it into motion. And here we are annoying people every week.
It's a great saying. It really is. Progress is not easy sometimes to measure, especially when you keep falling down, when hurdles keep coming up, when things aren't working out, when life's kicking you down. Okay. It's not easy to always see it. It's not easy to always measure it. One of the things you got to think about is you didn't fall down as low as you did before. You still got up. The next time you fall, maybe you do fall back down a little lower, and then you get back up. Sometimes you're about to fall. You could see it coming after a while.
Yeah.
And then you're mentally preparing yourself like, okay, this one's going to be rough to get up from. And then after a while, all of a sudden it becomes like a habit. Like, oh, I fell down. All right, time to get up. Like it just changes your whole mentality, you know?
Yeah.
And whereas the very first time you fell, you're kind of looking around going, oh my God, what do I do? What just happened? Like, well, how do I deal with this? You know, you go from the progression of day one. You know, I always love these progression things, day one versus day 100.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
You start off with day one, you don't see much of a difference. And you're kind of questioning your beliefs and everything, going, I don't know, man, this sucks because that mountain looks so high to climb, you know?
Yeah.
And then day 10, and then day 20, 30, 40, 50. When you get to day 100, at this point now, this is where we're at with everything. All right, bring it on.
Let's go.
And now when we're having our look, you and I keep each other motivated all the time.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes we'll start venting to each other and we'll be like, all right, look, man, this one's about to suck. What, you know, this is my plan though. This is how I'm going to get through it. And then you'll start feeding me, you know, some other positivity. Yeah, you think about this angle, think about it this way, or
right.
I'll do it back to you.
Right.
It's to the point where nothing is going to stop us. Not a thing is going to stop us because it is now in that mindset of there is no staying down. There is no falling down. Yeah, we're going to get up. We have already fallen down multiple times, 7 times, you know, then we're going to just get up. This is our 8th time. We're just going to get up. And it just becomes a habit. It becomes a mindset. It becomes a very powerful way of being. I love it, man. That is an awesome saying.
It is. And what, like I said, in the roundabout story, like I said, watching 4 Japanese movies with English subtitles, kind of took me in that direction, and I switched up gears for motivation today because I really think that it's pretty poignant for all of us, for everybody, and in life. Not only what you do behind the chair, but also just in life. I mean, because things are going to happen. You're gonna get driven to your knees, but you just got to get back up, and you got to get back up, and you keep moving forward, and you keep grinding, for lack of a better term. You and I use that term a lot. Grinding
is our superpower.
It is. It's the
ability to grind it out.
I mean, it's the only thing I got. I mean, I'm not as cute as you.
How do the little Japanese girls do it?
Hiya. Hiya.
You know.
But yeah, so guys, take that motivation with you into the in between with you back to life, and I think it really works. It really does. In closing, because we are out of time, in closing, guys, if you like what we do, please let us know. If you want to or don't, smash, give us a like, give us a share. If you don't, that's cool too. We're here every week anyway. All I can say is our new closing tagline: make a difference one strand at a time.
Oh, that's cool. I'm going to close it on that. That's super cool.